going on? We're doing another sublimation talk. Yeah, you know what that, Westside, you know. Alright, hopefully you guys can hear me well. Alright, you're gonna see my large hands for a second. Okay. Alright, at the pause, getting on that highway. Yeah, yo. Alright, so today we talking about sublimation tiling. So, like I said, we're going to talk about it. I'm going to do a video about it so you get the gist and idea of what I'm talking about. And then we're going to go and do a review. Alright, so this is a way for me to document my daily activities, you know, in my print shop, and also to help you and anybody in the future that happens to, you know, work for me in my shop. If it does happen, if not, it is what it is. What I really want is more like contractors and stuff like that. I'm not really into the whole employee thing, but when you own a business, as it gets larger, you're going to eventually have to get an employee. I just hope I find somebody that can vibe with me, you know what I'm saying? And that's about getting things done. So, anyways, if you're here, like and subscribe. This is Levi Apparel. Alright? Cool. So, today we're talking about sublimation tiling. Now, that term, sublimation tiling, really isn't a term. It's not even a word that's like in the dictionary you search. It's those of us who are in the sublimation business understand that this is how you can get a small printer to print large, or a medium-sized printer to print super large, in hopes of being able to make up for that lack of size. Okay, cool. So, try and get into the mindset of what we're talking about. Yeah. So basically, like I showed you in the video today, I released it today. I did it today, and I did it on my computer with a share screen software. So I was able to share a whole lot. Hopefully it was enough to help you in your sublimation all over print process that you are trying to do, right? And hopefully it helps. Alright, cool. So in this sublimation printing process, like, I want to kind of focus on the fact that you have a lot of printing companies that do sublimation, that sell sublimation products. You know, I'm a name drop one. This is for learning purposes only. You have Condi, right? I love Condi. They're a really good company, and they do a lot of blanks. I've purchased from them before, and I hope they get a chance to watch this because they've come up with a lot of stuff that involve with sublimation, right? To improve different crafts and move the sublimation printing process to a new level. But there's something that they've talked about, but it hasn't been really a main focus, and that is sublimation and a grander print. And when I say grand, like, you know, I'm from Haiti or Haiti, and sometimes the language barrier kind of, you know, it doesn't really get the word out that I want. So in Creole we say grand, which means grand. So the way I talk, if it seems different, is because I have to understand in my head what I'm trying to say in English, meanwhile I'm translating it kind of like a language to kind of, anyways, it's a long story. So basically, being able to print larger is something that all of us have always had that do art design in our apparel. I mean, in our arsenal or tools when it comes to sublimation. Now, even I didn't realize this was something that I had in my print software, even in my older print software, which is why I mentioned, hey, you can do this on your Adobe Illustrator, old and new version. You can do this on your Corel, old and new version. And I use my older version of Corel, even though I have a right now. Okay, now I was trying out to do one because there's a video I'm gonna put out about printing all over shirts, but I wanted a template I could use, also demonstration within the template how to actually properly do it. And throughout the whole template, granted, I thought the software I purchased automatically the minute I hit print, it was going to, you know, just do the tiling itself automatically. However, that wasn't the case, but that's okay, because within the video she showed how to do sublimation tiling. So literally for $5 I purchased knowledge that probably took this lady ages to perfect. You know, her name and YouTube, and for those of you who do content creating on YouTube, right? YouTuber. This video, you know, I'm name dropping this for educational purposes only. But yeah, had I not watched her video, purchased her product, like this whole all over print process, I would have known it. I recommend anybody that gets a chance, check out her channel. I think it's oh man, I hope she gets on here and just, when I do a live one day, or I'm just gonna check her videos and see if she name drops her name. But it's Latonna, Latona. I don't know. I'm horrible with names. But anyways, that'll be her. I think that's her channel if you are searching for it, and she goes as the print boss. So on there, she shows you how to do sublimation tiling. She shows you how to do large backgrounds, all that pizzazz that you need to go on there, you know, for shirts, yada yada. But out of all that, the most important message you could have is the one where she tells you all you need to do to make this all over print process happen with a small 8x11 printer, 11 by 17 printer, 13 by 19 printer. Hell, some people have 17 by whatever size printer, you know? All you need to do to make it happen on extremely large images to be able to print them without having the extremely large printers. And this doesn't just go for sublimation. Well, yeah, actually it does go for sublimation. So let's say you have a sublimation printer that's, I don't know, that can print 24-inch wide by 150 feet wide. But yet your material is, let's say, 250 feet long by, I don't know, 150 feet wide. Your printer is too small to print that large. So guess what? If it's a sublimation printer, you can also do the sublimation tiling. The basic point of this message, the video I did, and also this live, is for you to understand, stop limiting yourself. On YouTube, our content is made to help you, the DIYers, do-it-yourselfers, especially in the apparel business, because a lot of these companies want to make these large printers and they're freakishly expensive. Meanwhile, you catch yourself a mortgage, you can barely make ends meet, your shop is struggling, and before you know it, you close shop, and then you end up having to sell the machines, right? This is to not stop you from buying those large machines. Oh, hell no, I'm not trying to stop anybody's business. This is for you to be able to print the size that you want, to save a machine that prints those large sizes that you want, so you can stop cutting. Because when you start cutting, eventually it's going to get tiring. But you know what? 10 customers later of doing large prints that you're charging like, you know, $100 per print. You know? Eventually you're going to be running into the thousands when it comes to money making. You know? And like I said, do not sell your large all over prints less than 30 bucks or 35 bucks. Why? Because, hell, I'd say even less than 45 bucks, because it took time for you to get that all over print, from the art designing to the prints, to being able to do tiling and put them together. All that time and effort, you need to get paid for it. So I'm giving you something that's old, but we barely notice it. So I'm reintroducing to you something that you have always had in your arsenal. It's like you had a screwdriver that you couldn't find, right? This analogy. Meanwhile, you're at Home Depot, you see the latest and greatest screwdriver, and you decide, hey, let me get this screwdriver, right? Now, that's fine. You can get that screwdriver, but guess what? Eventually, you're gonna find that old screwdriver. It's just be laying there. It can still do the job of the new screwdriver, probably even better, because it probably comes with multi-head sets. Meanwhile, you bought one screwdriver because you couldn't find this screwdriver, right? But anyways, let me get back to the printing so you can understand, right? Tiling is that screwdriver that's always been there that you can't find, but one day eventually you always run into it, you put it somewhere, and then you lose it again, right? It's always been there, but you never notice it, basically. Tiling has always been part of your print software. And every time you go to print on a Illustrator, Corel, any of these print softwares, there's something called layout. And I'm guilty of it too. I've never thought to look at the layout and see what the hell this thing does. I know how to use the other ones because I've had use for them, but I never thought like, hey, you know what? Let me go to layout and see if I can print these prints larger by just creating multiple sheets and just collaging them or combining them together. You know, to make one large image. I never thought about that. So now with sublimation tiling, you don't have to worry anymore because guess what? You have a 8x11 sublimation printer like I do, right? Guess what? Now you can do 13x19s. Yes, you can do 13x19. Now you can do 24" by 24" with your printer. Keep in mind that 8x11 printers, papers that have images printed on them, and you may have to cut some of the lines if you don't do like borderless printing on it. You may have to cut and piece together and tape in the back. All right, so that's something that's going to take a little bit of your time, but you know what? Nowadays, printers are in the high hundreds. Some printers are even in the thousands that you want to print large printing, because a lot of things right now are becoming scarce. Now, a lot of manufacturers have certain machines. So those who have the machines, who are reselling them, put them for a higher bid because they know they're not available anywhere else. They're sold out. So for you who don't have the capability of purchasing that machine yet, guess what? With a few prints, you've already paid off the printer you have currently with all of the sublimation, the large prints. With a few prints, you've already saved enough to buy an even larger printer. Because what if you're like, hey, you know what? I like this being able to tile and print larger, but dang it, my hands is getting tired of cutting. This is why I say I'm not for you to not buy larger printers. You know, my channel has always been on what can I do to make this process cost effective for me. That's my way of saying cheaper. So I can buy more cost effective machines that will yield me more money, cha-ching, to get the results that I want. And then once I have the results I want and the amount of money that I need saved, then I'm going to upgrade my equipment, preferably around December. Buy equipment around December. Wait, why would you buy equipment around December? When you purchase your equipment around December, the tax season is right around the corner. Usually people get their taxes or do their taxes around January when they get their W-2s, right? So around January you do your taxes, or February you do your taxes, anywhere before April 15 or the allowed date time to do your taxes. You getting the money back within months, as opposed to just purchasing it in the beginning of the year and then having to wait out all this time doing payments and all this stuff. Man, you get so much benefits. This is going into something else, taxes, as far as like you being able to utilize your sublimation tiling to printing larger, meaning you're able to take in more customers for larger prints and charging more and recouping back more money for your shop, for you to be able to buy more software, better equipment, and possibly even hire staff if possible, right? So now when you buy in December, tax season is right around the corner, right? Your equipment fees or even employee fees, whatever, you get to put them on your taxes, right? Depending on how much you're making, it's considered a write-off for your company. So you can recoup back some of the money that you would have lost if you didn't purchase in December. All right, so that's a little tip for you. You know, this channel is about giving you a little bit of caveat to help you improve your printing process, improve your company, and hopefully move to a better, successful tax bracket that would help you, as well as having better and more cost-effective equipment at the end, costs pennies on the dollar. Not because the, let's say $10,000 embroidery machine, let's say, right, is less than $10,000. It's still $10,000, but the means that you use to purchase it helps you get back some of that money. And by getting back some of that money, you're able to introduce it to other things. And by introducing it to other things, you end up saving, which means you, at the end, make more money. Right? But anyways, we're talking about sublimation tiling. So, like I said, I'll devote this whole month to sublimation talks, activities, tutorials, right? Prints. So if you want sublimation to go further, stay tuned, keep watching, subscribe, like the videos so you can let me know that you want more. Subscribe so I can know you're interested. What else? Stay tuned. You know, watch the whole thing if you can, because I could have said all these things in the beginning. It took me some time to just get my thoughts together and say it at the end, right? So now if you just listen to like a few minutes and then you cut it off, or you skipping it, you might get to this point and it's like, I've talked about the meat of the subject that I'm supposed to be talking about, that give you more information to help you, but yet you skip the video and now you're watching this section, which is basically telling you goodbye, and what you need to hear is not as much as you would have gotten if you watched the whole thing. All right. Also, I have a join tab. Please click on it. If you click on it and I actually have members, I can actually get things ready for you guys to help you. So some of the things I'm talking about in the regular, I can give you even more elaboration, more information about how to do it, why to do it, and all that stuff. This is Levi Apparel. Like and subscribe. But let's get back to what we're talking about. Like I said, sublimation tiling. Listen, I'm gonna do so much videos on sublimation tiling that it's gonna be crazy eventually. You're gonna get tired of it, but at the same time you're gonna want to try it, and at the same time you're gonna realize how much you love it, and at the same time you're gonna realize how much you love it. But at the end, one thing is going to be said about this. It allows you to think bigger without having to worry about how small your package is. All right? Or if you have a big package, you can think even bigger. Right? I'm talking about printers, guys. Get your mind out of it. So, it doesn't matter how small your printer is, how large your printer is. Sublimation tiling is a trick that you can use to allow you to achieve a greater amount of success when it comes to larger prints. That goes way beyond what your printer can do. Now, with that said, I've talked about what this subject was about, sublimation tiling. Now, I've noticed as us content creators or YouTubers start talking about certain subjects, eventually these larger companies start picking up on it, like DTF and all these different things that's coming up. And as they start picking up on it and seeing us actually doing it, they eventually get in the process of doing it too. And eventually they come up with either software or a way that you can do things automatically without creating too much hassle for you, which you can just purchase. I'm hoping by creating these videos, this is what happens with sublimation tiling. There's one of these companies create a software. Now you don't have to go to any Adobe or Illustrator, Corel, whatever you want to call it, and go to the hassle of going to layout and do all these things. Because what if one day you're doing it so much that, you know, you just press print and then all of a sudden you only get one page. You're like, damn, I have to go to the software, I have to let it know, I have to make sure I check, see if it all fits and this and that, and it's too much detail. I just want to get the artwork for the customer, lay it down on the software, make it as big as I want, let the software know how big and how wide I want it, and then press print. And it automatically prints the tile. Who knows? Maybe they might do that. But it takes you to continue liking the video, let me know what you want to talk about for me to continue doing it. I'm going to keep pressing it. And another reason why I'm really keen on sublimation tiling is because, I want to talk about it more in more detail, is because sublimation tiling is something I didn't know I had. You know, like and subscribe. This is Levi Girl. Having issues here. There we go. Alright. I thought I was going to lose you guys because my battery was saying slow. But anyway, sublimation tiling is going to take us to the next level. I'm telling you, like, I'm going to do a video where, I mean, now I have the printer, you know. I have the unboxing video. I didn't do the whole traditional unboxing. I just showed you the box. I took it out. I told you what I'm going to do with it. And I let you know this is it, it's here. So you can get a visual of, okay, cool, he has it in his shop. So not only is he talking about it, but he's got it in his shop. So now, after I'm done showing you that, like I said yesterday, I was going to show you the video of the unboxing. I was going to show you I was going to take time to develop it, and hopefully it was supposed to be in tonight by today, or today. But I was going to show you the untiling, right? So I'm going to take my logo, again, like I said, I'm going to do multiple prints of my logo, and I'm going to lay it down as if it's just one piece of software. I mean, one piece of print, and then I'm gonna do an all-over print with it, front and back, so you can see the capability of what you can do. I will do a background, so I can show you that you can also change the shirt color. So my print, so you're gonna see everything that's sorry, just looking at the road, making sure things are okay. Yeah, so you're gonna see me set all this up. After I set it up, I'm gonna print it, put it on the shirt, submate the shirt, and then wear it. And I'm gonna make that from now on my sublimation shirt. I mean my sublimation all over shirt. So whenever you see me do a video and I have it on, that's what we're gonna be talking about. Sublimation all over prints, right? You know, but I wouldn't have come to this conclusion without some of the people that I know, friends and family, that's requesting all over prints. And since they were requesting it, I had to make it happen. But in order to make it happen, like when you're just starting in your craft, sometimes you have to take time to learn different machines, different ways of doing things. Because had they not asked for all over prints, I would have never learned about sublimation tiling. I would have never learned about just clicking on the layout section, clicking on print tiling or print tile. I would have never learned how to enlarge the tile, make it smaller. I would never learn about all those features that I showed you on that video. That took me a minute, and then one day I just showed it to you. And then when we're ready, but out of the most important things out of what I showed you in sublimation tiling is the print preview. Please do print preview, because with print preview, it allows you to see, and also you can print in print preview. You just go to the print section, you press print, and it prints it, right? So like I was saying, in print preview, it allows you to see exactly how that print's gonna look like, the color, everything. So please, again, do print preview. It helps you a lot. You know? So, and also in print preview, you can enlarge the image to get more tilings. You can lower the image to get more tilings. And if you don't like what you see, you click the X, exit out. It brings you right back to the layout where you can customize the tiling section, make it smaller, make it larger, right? But no, in some prints, because a piece of the print of the let's say background, if you have a white background, a piece of the white background, if it edges out, you may have some blank prints. Just take those blank prints and put it back in your sublimation paper holder. I mean, in your printer paper holder, because you can still use them. The extra one's just printed because the machine's assuming that you have to print that section since it's part of your layout. You know, since the background is part of your artwork. That's all. So don't think, oh man, I'm getting all these extra sheets, so I can't do anything with them. No, just take them, put them right back into your printer, and then you can use them for another print. You know. So, I talked a lot about sublimation. But yeah, like I said, sublimation tiling right now is where it's at. You got a small printer, it's okay. Sublimation tiling. You got a large printer, you want to print bigger, it's okay. Sublimation tiling. Or just layout, press the tiling. You'll have your column. It'll tell you how many columns it's going to give you. You'll have your row. You know. So based on your width and your height, just check on those. And the way they did it with the columns, they literally show you horizontal and vertical of the little blocks, so you can know when you go to fix them on your layout section. Because let's say if you have way too many and you don't need that many, right? And you go back and you move the background of the image, or you crop some of the background to make it fit to the exact amount of tilings or paper that you want. What happens is you reduce the amount of paper printed or tiling that you may get. All right. So whether you use a large printer or a small printer, sublimation tiling is for you, or tiling is for you. All right. No longer do you need to limit yourself. Okay. So I'm going to end the tiling talk right now. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about changing the shirt color and all that. And the reason why I also name dropped Condi for educational purposes is because Condi's been there for a while. It has a lot of sublimation blanks. They have a lot of sublimation blanks, and they are the leading, as far as I know. I'm not saying they are. I'm not getting paid by them or sponsored by them. I just use them a lot because I purchase a lot of their stuff. So to me, they are the best because I get high quality stuff from them. All right, so in my opinion, they are the best. In my opinion, right? Your opinion may be different than mine. But one thing that I didn't like about Condi is, like, in their whole sublimation process, they don't really talk about sublimation all over prints a lot, or how to utilize your small printer to create tiles, multiple papers that you can combine. And with the sublimation process, all that happens is the paper just gets transferred. Just transfers the image onto the shirt. To the point where, like, hey, if you have a white shirt for sublimation, you don't gotta worry. You could take that white shirt and do some sublimation tiling with the image on there and print a different color shirt. You know, all the other sublimation locations that sell blanks or whatever, they only talk about an 8x11 sublimation paper, right? 13x19 sublimation paper, or if you have the large printer, you get a sublimation roll where you can print larger. But they never talk about sublimation tiling. You know, hey, you can only afford a 8x11 size sheet printer. Sublimation tiling, you can do any prints you want as large as you want. You just need to print more paper, which would be more like an upsell for them, because guess what? Now we're showing you how to utilize more sheets. Eventually you're gonna run out of sheets and you're gonna have to buy more sheets, or you're using so much rolls to do so many all over prints that you don't even bother buying cotton anymore. You only offer 100% polyester or 50-50 blends. Only white t-shirts will cost you pennies on the dollar compared to the colored sublimation, the colored polyester or 100% or 50-50 polyester shirts. Now you're saving money because you only stock white shirts. Hey, after this, I'm probably gonna keep stocking only white shirts for sublimation. I'm not even gonna bother with colors. I'm not even gonna bother, like, oh my God, how am I supposed to print all over print with this? How am I supposed to print on this black shirt for sublimation? Sublimation, when the sublimation process is not going to work on a black shirt that needs a color print. I need to go to DTF. I need to go to all these other print methods just to print. No, I'm not gonna bother with that. I'm just gonna have a white shirt doing all of a sublimation print with the image on it, change the color of the background to be the color of the shirt, and I'm good. You know, I'm not wasting my time, you know, trying to figure out which print method is better. Or if somebody says, oh, I want a white writing on a red shirt that's 100% polyester. Damn. Like, I mentioned that because, and also I'm still talking about Condi because these companies are supposed to be able to allow us to understand that, yo, listen, what you have in your hands, this product, this shirt, you can go way beyond. And since they're doing tutorials, they're supposed to do tutorials and be like, yo, listen, you may have a white shirt, but you can sublimate it with any color you want. You can make it, I'm just gonna go to the regular colors. You can sublimate it to be red, yellow, blue, black, and any colors in between those. Or even you can do a spiral rainbow, like the tie-dye, all over print. Slap that with an image on the shirt. Guess what? You don't need to do tie-dye if you don't want to. If you like that process, you can, but you don't have to. All you need to do is just print the tie-dye as the background, put the image where you want it to be, and then you print all over. Like you'll have a large tie-dye with the image where you want it to be. You throw the shirt on there, you sublimate it, you take the shirt out. Guess what? The shirt is now sublimated with a tie-dye design with an image on it. And guess what? You don't have to worry about, is the red gonna bleed out because this person wanted a white image on this shirt that has red all over, right? So let's go back to the shirt that's red all over. So the shirt is red, right? The customer says, listen, I want a red 100% polyester, and I want the image to be white. That's on it, right? Let's say they want a lion that's all outlined, like a silhouette of a lion, but they want that lion to be white. And then on top of that, they want the wording to be white on a red 100% polyester. You know what's going to happen? Something called dye migration. So the sublimation ink that's on the shirt is going to eventually, when the heating process begins, to put that image on the shirt, whether you try to screen print it, right? You need like a screen printing method that would create dye blocking. Excuse me. You'd have to create a screen print method that would need to create dye blocking so you can lay down the white ink on it. If you're doing it vinyl, you need a vinyl that allows you to do dye blocking. If you're doing like a whole image and you're thinking, you know what, I'm just gonna use this like heat transfer and just lay it on there. I'm just gonna cut it with the vinyl cutter. I don't need to do any design. I don't need to print anything. I'm just gonna cut it out and put it on there like a vinyl, but it'll be softer because the we call it printable vinyl is not as thick. Man, this thing is gonna bleed all over your, and even though you're doing dye blocking method, it's still not 100%. So what happens is your red shirt, the sublimation ink makes its way to that white, and then your image starts looking pink or red. But if you take that same customer, and they're like, hey, listen, I need you to do a white image with wording on this, on a red shirt. You can now say to them, yeah, no problem, I can do that. I'll pick it up next week or in 2 weeks. Yeah, no problem, I got you. You know what you do? You go to your printer, right? Let's say, we're gonna use the smallest printer. You go to your 8x11 printer and you found the image, right? Let's say, we're gonna just be simple. Let's say the guy wanted a small shirt, like 10 small shirts. Man, it doesn't take that many tiles to create 10 small shirts. When I say tiles, again, I'm talking about paper size. It doesn't take that many tiles to create white, a full all over print image for a small shirt with an image on there. You lay it down, bam, print the front and back, you're done. Now the shirt is red because you have the background only red. The image is on there, it's only white, so you know with sublimation, white is not printed. Oh boy. Yeah, white doesn't print on sublimation. So what you'll have is just like an outline. Well, you'll have the image, you know, in the outline and stuff. Anyways, you'll have a white image on there, period. Right? So what you sublimate it on, you give it back to the customer and you're done. You don't have to, for the type of 100% polyester shirt the customer wants, nothing, because guess what? You just buy a cheap polyester, cost-effective white polyester shirt. You change the color of the shirt. Yeah, red shirt with white writings, and that's it. Sublimation is beautiful. It's a beautiful process. Sorry guys, I'm trying to park. I'll get back to you in a second. Do I have time? I'm gonna check. 1 second. Yep, I got some time. Yep, I'm within the line of parking. So yeah, like with all over print and sublimation, like sky's the limit where you can go, you know? I'm gonna leave it there. I was gonna just do a short video, but I had a lot to talk about. But yeah, so a person can give you can tell you they want a red shirt, white design on there, and you got no worries because you can do all over print. You can even stock your shop with only like white polyester shirts, period. You know, anybody asks you, like, nah, I only do polyester. Any color you want, but I only do polyester. You know, or you could call it, for those who do sports, you call it moisture wick. It's just polyester. It's like 50-50 sometimes. Sometimes it's 100%, 60%, you know. But yeah, you can stock your shop with only polyester white t-shirts for sublimation and never ever have to worry about, okay, I need, let's say somebody say they want a gray shirt or a light purple shirt or a particular, like for example, somebody was looking for a I think it was like a mint green shirt that they wanted. And I'm like, mint green? Why not just go with lime green? They're like, no, I want mint green. And I'm like, all right, let me see what they got. So I went on to try and check see if they had mint green. I called even I called the manufacturer to be like, hey, listen, you got mint green shirt? They were like, listen, we're sold out. We ain't got it. I'm like, what? He's like, we're sold out. I'm like, well, when are you getting supplies? The lady was like, listen, mint green shirts, whenever we stock them, they go like this. And then I was thinking to myself, damn, now I got no mint green shirt. So the customer gave me another option, which was red. So I had to go with the red shirt. But the issue I had was this. I had DTF, the image on there. It was fine. It was good. But with DTF, whenever you're printing on red, you need black powder. The reason why you need black powder, it becomes a dye migration type of thing, where the black powder stops the red from pushing into the actual design. So now you have the design on top, the powder, which turns into a what's that thing called? An adhesive, clothing adhesive, which keeps the clothes and the image together, but it blocks the red from pushing through. I didn't have black powder. I had to get black powder, which means I had to make more money. I had to spend more money. Had I known about this sublimation process earlier, and I did know about it, it's called Oliver Prints, but I didn't realize I could change the color by just creating the background of the print as red and leave the image on there. Had I known that, I would just print a large tile process, large print, right? And I would have been doing all of sublimation all day, every day, right? And with the 10 shirts she gave me, I would have just kept popping them, pop, 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 right? And just lay them up together, bam, 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 and it would have been good. All right, so I'm gonna have to go. I got a call. All right, so this is Levi Apparel. Like and subscribe.